That's still fucking quiet. Let's go to the game knob, everyone. The game knob. I'm going to turn my music down for me and up for you. Okay. This is a terrible place for a fucking camp. Won't be needing this one. Let's start with going and looking up how the DMG wants to. Because I'm doing them differently, but I still want to try. One game. Wilderness and mapping the wilderness might be useful, so... Hey, cuck, you forgot a pen. Also, judging by the fact that most of the people I know are players in this campaign, no one's gonna show up for this. Still, I look a decent bit better. Okay. Talking off to the side. Keep my mic forward because I'm probably going to be leaning forward most of this. Huh. Not even Turtle's bot actually thinks I'm live. Hanging out in my notebook. Behold, a man. I mean, a pen. I'm actually gonna move this around so that's over here, just in case anyone actually wants to try and read it. This can go over here. Site. Spare dice. I will probably end up testing some of this shit. Because I'll need... Oh, now you go fucking live. Right. Not sure how much this is stream music. And let's go remove the painful way. I have found, while I was making this playlist, by the way, that Hades makes for terrible stream music. Like, Supergiant makes some very good stream music. Hades is not it. Pyre, on the other hand, is wonderful. And Grand Ceremony is one of my favorite songs of Pyre. Physics. Let's not be like this. Thrash Pack is not on the fucking stream list. Thrash Pack is not good stream music, Florence. And you know it. However, I will go play Thrash Pack. But only the acoustic version. Anyone who knows the actual Thrash Pack song is cringing. The acoustic Thrash Pack sounds like garbage. Yes. Yes, it is. Also, that needs to be resized just a little bit. And probably lowered font size as well. Flauance, give me some writing, please. You write something in my chat and I'll give you an actual decent version of Thrash Pack. I do not like that font. Oh, you cuck. I can't change the font. I am being cuckolded by a system. I found a very nice font for my on break words, but And Florence, you'll enjoy it because it's called Bilbo. Because it's quite obviously a Tolkien reference. Anyway, Thrash Pack. This is Thrash Pack, right? No, that was Rage of Demons! How dare you get a Pyre song wrong? Just for that, we're going and listening to all of Rage of Demons. My favorite enemies in Pyre, by the way. I know you don't, that's why I'm making fun of you. Because out of all the Supergiant songs, the one I love the most is the one you know the least. A lot of Pyre actually kind of has that MIDI trumpet sound to it. Anyway, I gotta go back to my stream music or I'm going to lose my mind. Shuffle play all of stream music. There we go. Here's the song. Great, now that Florence is in chat, my writing is going to shit. This is the sole regret, not a proper story. Get your shit right. Florence. Get yo goddamn shit right. Soul regret comes like 3 minutes after proper story. Come on. Come on, you gotta know this because we're doing it later today, Florence. Am I gonna have to teach you how Bastion works again? No, you're good. If I was worried about distractions, I wouldn't be streaming, Florence. Oh no, there it is. 85. Here's a song from a game you don't know. Florence, leave? Oh well. I'm back down to one viewer, which I assume is myself. 85. Oh, you have not left, which means it has stopped registering me as a viewer again. It tends to be for me. We're at the boring bits right now where I'm rereading the rules on how to do something. We'll get to the fun bits of actually picking out monsters to kill you with later. I know how I'm triggering mine. I'm assuming bombs for throwing at you is a reference that I didn't get. Ah. Yeah, then I just missed it. Since I played Portal 2, and also I only played Portal 2 co-op. Anyway, time for some Blue Stallion, because I've been up all night. Blue Stallion. I mean, yeah. Stallion would be the item, and then blue would just be the team colors, because blue is actually the, yeah, you already know. Again, we're back to the songs that I like, but Florence won't know. Because Florence isn't a true Supergiant fan. This is Strange Voyage, the main travel song in Pyre. Now! Bought that fucking game when it came out. Also, Jesus Christ, the peak on that now. To be fair, it is the, but it's, I figured. Understand, I will still forever give you shit for not liking Pyre as much as I do. Because I fucking love Pyre, and I'm pissed that no one else likes Pyre. Pyre has some of the most amazing world building. It is! It's gameplay crippled a really wonderful story. I quite enjoy the gameplay personally, but I can understand why most people didn't. It was pretty simple, and most of the good gameplay was in it being a visual novel, with the soccer-y bits being an add-on. Yes. Yes. There's a reason I fucking loved it. Rocks. A side of revolution? No. No. Revolution is 2 parts of the 7-course meal, my friend. That is not a side of revolution. Breadsticks is a side. Revolution is the soup and salad. With a soup and salad of revolution. Thank you. Sorry, I'm just currently organizing my thoughts on how I want the weighting of the random encounters to be. Because I don't want you just finding clues all the fucking time. I will, by the way, be making random encounters for multiple different biomes so that you don't know everything that I'm going to throw at you. Ooh, more songs Florence doesn't know. From a game Florence should, but probably won't play. No, there's no more to that. This isn't Hades. Does this sound like fucking Hades to you? No, this is Hollow Knight. No. It's just songs that I know are... You should play Hollow Knight. Songs that I know aren't going to get me copyright struck. That's all. So far, it's just Supergiant and Christopher Larkin, because those two tend to be fairly nice about their music. But even then, I'm sticking to Hollow Knight music, because Christopher Larkin also does movies. And that would be a lot less good. I gotta do some research into Persona music, because I know most of the time it's used without issue, but I want to make sure what is allowed for them. More specifically, they're super bad about spoiler songs and playing the spoiler songs. Because you'll get copyright to fuck for Rivers in the Desert, but not for Wake Up, Get Out There. Which, those are two very good songs. bag of dice. Whippersnappers, get off my lawn. Okay. And if you want a good reason to play Hollow Knight alone, its music is a good enough reason on its own. Its music is fucking fantastic. I had to cut like half the songs, a little over half the songs, because they're all boss music. But they were all fucking good. Also, the issue with liquid pens over solid pens. I wanted to use a G2, but I couldn't find it anymore. Because liquid pens are very good for this. But because of that, they're very bad for this. Sorry, I drew it now. I had to fill it in because I'm paranoid like that. Alright. Now, I can actually start working on building encounters. I'm going to start with some environmental encounters. Not even necessarily ones I'm going to use, but ones that are good to think about. I'm gonna set up 4 biomes. One is the Bloodwood. I've already described it to my players and on stream, but it is a swamp infested with unlife and unlife-based creatures. Probably can't hear me over the fucking music right now. It's a swamp infested with unlife and unlife-based creatures. There's the Cindertop Mountains, which are currently boiling volcanoes, but ones without much ability to erupt. Just layers of calderas, though. Then I'll probably reuse the Belgath Sand Sea, which is a desert made of aerated sand that is constantly under storm. Alright. Sorry. Fudged around with stream settings for a bit. Okay. Bloodwood, Cindertop, Belgath. You can tell which one's stolen from, like, previous work instead of... made up on the spot because it's actually got a fucking name. Sorry, I want to try and zoom my face cam in a bit. Nope. Not really settings for it. Issue is if I move it any closer, it's on the fucking table. Because you can actually see my webcam right here. This little foot's the foot of the webcam. Alright. I'm back to crashing. More blue stallion. You still there, Florence? Or did you disappear? Because you've been quiet. You're normally the vocal one. Flunce has disappeared. One more area. I'm doing You can tell I'm a bit sleep deprived because I'm fucking massively distracted. We have a final location, the Ironwood, which is a forest made of trees that are intrinsically iron or stone. All of these are very simple in their construction. They are a biome in which D&D monsters are actually classified by biome and either a creature or element subtype, which is hard to find creature or elemental subtypes. If Flunce is gone, I'm going to actually do all of the work on the blood right now. I'm going to cut the music down a bit. Ooh. Height is weird. Alright, Let's just go look at the appendix of creatures that is in a swamp. Oh, it's not actually in the book. So the average CR for any encounter is going to be 10, by the way. This time. Okay, it looks like we're gonna have to look through the book manually. Thing that I quite love doing. Okay, Ablett's definitely not gonna work. Angels, animated armor. Arcag. Bansheeler to note. But here are both. Death Tyrant is already on my list, but for a completely different reason. Blights are a question mark. I don't think I'm actually going to be able to get enough of them to be a challenge. Bullywugs would be a swamp creature, but I don't think I want a living sentient race in this. It's a surprise tool to help us. Oh, you can't see what I'm on. It's a surprise tool to help us later. How the fuck did I not see Death Knights when I was looking for big monsters? What the fuck? Shit. That is a challenge rating 12 or 17. Fuck. I could easily have statted that up instead of the dragon. Demi-Lich is already on my list. Demi-Lich is one of the bosses. No, it isn't. I set you aside because I didn't want to do a Demi-Lich. I did a Draco-Lich instead, didn't I? I know that I'm adding creatures that go above my CR. There are ways around that as a DM. Specifically, give your players some sort of an advantage or weaken the creature. Demons, 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 demons. So many motherfucking demons. We got anyone in the chat, by the way? I'm gonna take that as a probably no. Draco-Lich is already on there. Dragons are all fine and dandy, but none of them are applicable. They're kind of useless. Hey, you see that mushroom over there? Go say hi. I'm pretty sure he's a fun guy. The one mushroom bug that ever exists. Might end up with a multi-stage fuck, I didn't write down what the number was for ghouls. Tanky and get the Zerai. Keyboard, so I may. I'm sure this is massively unentertaining as it is just me flipping through a book, but Oh, shit. Hey, Natsu. You actually might enjoy this, as I am flipping through monster manuals and figuring out encounters. Right now, I'm pretty much just going to find anything that will fit in a Undead Swamp. Which means doing my favorite thing of just going through the entire monster manual. And only the monster manual, because I don't want to pull up D&D Beyond right now. So that's where the rest of my books are. For some reason I always spell... Yes, Undead Swamp. I'm making a D&D campaign, and the first area they're in is an Undead Swamp called the Bloodwood. Specifically, they're hunting giant monsters in said Undead Swamp. Average CR for the random encounters is 10. Player levels are 10. I do, however, have boss monsters at 13, 15, and 18 CR. Statted up differently than normal monsters for the boss monsters because they're meant to be a hunt. God damn it, I didn't see what the lich was on. Right now, I'm just going through the entire fucking monster manual. I'm also noticing some things that I wish I had noticed when I was making boss monsters. Like, I could have done a Demi-Lich as one of the boss monsters, or like a Death Knight, and those are both about the CR that I would have wanted them to be. The thing is, this is going to be a heavily random encounter-based campaign, because it's meant to run similar to Monster Hunter in that the monster spawns in a random location and you gotta go find it. So the way I'm doing that is, I'm having a random encounter table in which one of the random encounters is a hint towards where the boss is. Yep, already got the bosses statted. I had to like restat the bosses because I want it to be more of a Witcher style hunt in which they have a fuck ton of resistances and you gotta target weaknesses, instead of it being health versus health. Or health versus DPS. Some of them are, yes. It depends on the boss's AI, basically. I have different rules for different mentalities for bosses. Specifically, as long as none of my players are in here, I can tell you, if they roll up too many vampire clues, they're going to be hunted by the vampire and snuck up on. Because the three bosses we have currently are a Vampire Lord, a Draco Lich, and a Death Tyrant. The Death Tyrant is stationary in its lair. It will not run, it will not chase, it will not do anything, it will defend itself. It also gets lair actions, though, because that brings it up to the CR I wanted it at. Whereas the Draco Lich is wandering, meaning it can randomly encounter the players can randomly encounter it, but it doesn't really care about the players. So if the players become a hassle, it will run away from the players. The Vampire Lord is meant to be a stealth hunter type, because it's not Strahd, it's like a feral Vampire Lord. Because all of the things that I am making are not sentient. They are beasts. With the stat blocks of these creatures, I just happened to pick 3 fully sentient creatures that I stat blocked as beasts. Ranging in size. The Dracolich is meant to be huge. The Vampire Lord is going to be Vampire Lord sized. It's going to be slightly larger than a human. But it's also meant to be scary because it's fast and sneaky, not because it's big. The Death Tyrant will probably be about the size of a regular Beholder, because those are fucking terrifying on their own. But yeah, the Dracolich is going to be massive. A lot of undead right in that same little area. Because Shadows, Shambling Mountains, which I know are plant, but not undead, but... And then Skeletons, all in the same area. Slods. Most underused goddamn enemy in D&D. Yeah, I'm just gonna throw one of those at them. No real worries about whether or not they'll survive. Hey, look! It's Fred! Motherfucking troglodyte. I like to point out, troglodytes are an actual thing. So the fact that they named like a lizard-esque race after them is hilarious. Vampy's my dude, I have already got you. Ooh. This is fucking idle music if I ever heard any. Nah. Fuck making it a regular beauty. Corrupted unicorn, though. Normal from a distance until it starts chewing on you. I don't think there's gonna be anything else. Oh, right. I probably should have remembered. Okay, I have every potential creature that I could use. The issue is, I'm more looking for environmental hazards than I am creatures. But some of these have given me ideas for environmental hazards. Boy, I will time your ass out. I refuse to go anywhere fucking near the bog of stench. I will stay back at my fucking beginning of the labyrinth with my pixie sprayer and fucking deal with them. I don't need to go anywhere near the goddamn bog of stench. I'm aware I was just continuing the labyrinth joke. I will, however, use poison gas. A little more than just smelling bad. I really wish you were up there, so that when I looked at fucking chat, I wouldn't look like I'm fucking way over the goddamn camera, but I can't actually put my camera there. The shit is DMing me. I thought I had you fucking muted. It could. I have another way I want to do that though. Your August Ench gave me the idea of a blood oak that when it attacks someone, it can leave a blood mark on them, attracting nearby undead. So here's an idea. You weren't there for the actual Session Zero stream, but the main premise of this campaign is that the players are living in a society that is on a giant turtle's back. That giant turtle is walking through different biomes, and every new session is a new biome in which the players are being sent out to hunt creatures for resources. A la Monster Hunter, but on a monster's back. An idea came up of having it be so that the turtle's path is set. Oh god, I'm fucking peeking. Shit. Oh god, oh fuck, oh god, oh fuck. Having it be so that the turtle's path is set, so the further away from the turtle they get, the denser the foliage would be, because the turtle would tear up whatever its path is every however long it takes for it to get all the way around the world. I say that because one of the hazards I was thinking of is natural tree bridges. And the hazards that come with walking on high up giant branches instead of closer to the ground. All the first area of Monster Hunter World, because that's actually as far as I've gotten in there. That's not true, I've gotten to the desert. But also because I like the aesthetic of walking around on giant, massive fucking trees. And the reason the players could have to do that is that the further out they get from the path, like the path the turtle walks, do you mean the glue that Jester used to glue a dick to what's-her-face's hand? Spoilers for anyone in the chat who is not caught up with Critical Role, which would be no one, because there's only one person in chat. Maybe not that bad, but sticky traps are not a bad idea. But as I was saying, the further out they get from the turtle's path, basically the less stable the ground would be, because where the turtle has walked has compacted over thousands of years and thousands of cycle of this giant fucking turtle walking this same path. Because oh, fuck, I vaguely remember that. I don't remember what its actual effect was, though. Basically, a trap that is indistinguishable from the natural water. But I don't remember what the actual effect it had was, because I remember he kept having to make a save for something. Was it just getting pulled out? It might have just been getting pulled out. Oh fuck, Florence named the turtle, didn't she? Florence may or may not... Ah, okay. Just a standard sticky trap then. Florence may or may not have done all of the lore for on the turtle, while I'm supposed to do all the lore for off the turtle. Tatanaga. The Shell Mother. Don't tell Florence, but I haven't actually read this document yet. I asked for it. I asked for it to be ready by last Saturday, and I still haven't read it. Don't tell Florence, she'll be pissed. How long? 3 pages. Not that long of a document to read. I'm just also massively dyslexic and reading things off screens hurts my eyes. Yeah, 3 pages. Which I would like to point out, Florence can apparently write 3 pages of lore in a day and a half. Kudos to Florence's skill, by the way. Florence can write very quickly. I have an issue of I want to move my hands to the music, but I'm not sure if my hands are actually in sync with the audio. Yeah, Florence is a word person, alright. Okay. I'm starting to think of how I'm going to sort this, and I think I'm going to sort it into 2 different stages in the trip. The first one being on the ground or closer to the ground floor with more things like the sticky traps or zombies or things that would walk around on the ground floor. And then as they get further out, they'll get to a point where I'll switch to a different table for basically the actually in the trees, which I'll probably use more things like specters and gibbering mouthers and not necessarily, because there's a delay caused by the camera itself. That doesn't exist in the music. Close enough, okay. What mental train wreck? Me? The fact that I'm currently a mental train wreck? That more has to do with the fact that I am on hour 20 with a significant amount of blue stallion. I think that's a bit too goofy for what I'm going for, but it is hilarious. I also don't think any of the plants would necessarily bloom in a way that would give fruit. Though I do now have an idea for how I want to describe the blood oak. And a thing that I might be able to trick the players into doing. So, the blood oak will have fruit. Which are these nice, round... Oh, it's fine. Train of thought's been derailed multiple times. I've not had any actual surviving passages on my train of thought for years. But, the blood oak will have these nice, round, red, fruit-looking things. Slightly soft to the touch. And if a player is dumb enough to take a bite, they get a face full of blood oak scent. I was more just thinking pus sacks, but yeah. Because the blood oak isn't actually meant to be filled with blood. It's meant to be a misnomer. The blood oak is just meant to be a tree that can attack them, that will cover them in a scent similar to blood to make undead want to kill them. You need to be flipped over. Which is kind of a pain in my ass because I have everything, literally everything covering it. Good news is I don't need this book anymore, so that can go away. Question. Which side of the map do you use for mass travel and which side do you use for small travel? I was more thinking like looking like a really bulbous mosquito or tick, where it's not something that makes the blood, it's something that has drained the blood. Because the other thing is, if I could have the blood oak actually be filled with blood, but then it's draining blood, and that aesthetically probably would work better. How much effort do I want to put into this? That's the question. How much effort do I want to put into this? You say me. I'm gonna be right back. I gotta go grab some alcohol wipes so I can clean up this map a bit. How much effort I want to put in? That is the ultimate question, I suppose. Alright, motherfuckers, hydrate before you dehydrate. That's not the right jug. Oh, my filled one's over there. Oh, fuck. Not to run mini tray. Now I gotta start that. Water first. How's the music sounding, by the way? Also, I'm sure you know what these are for. Though you may not know what these are for. Any turtles. The reason I asked was because it was also a little loud for me. So I can turn it down. That might be a bit too quiet, but I can find a point in which it's not unbearable. Because as for what the actual music you're getting, fuck you. I will play whatever music I want to fucking play. But also, I really fucking like this music. It's a mix of Christopher Larkin and Darren Korb. Christopher Larkin being the guy who did the music for Hollow Knight, among other things, and Darren Korb being the guy who does all the music for Supergiant Games. Speaking of which, if you want to watch me play a Supergiant game, come join me at about 6:30. I will be playing Bastion. Plug, 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 plug. This is Christopher Larkin, the last one was Darren Korb. Six? Oh wait, no, it's Tuesday. Okay, you're watching a rerun. Never mind, that makes sense. For some reason I thought it was my Thursday stream, and I was like, wait, why the fuck are you watching it at 6? It doesn't start till 9. But no, you watch it on rerun. Well, I do hope you pop in at some point. I don't know how long Bastion's gonna actually go for, because Bastion's... Honestly, Bastion's a game I could probably finish in one sitting fairly shortly, but, it's also a slow, quiet story game, so it's the type of game where I get, 2 hours in and I'm just antsy to go murder something. That's very fair. This circle right here that you can't really see, but that kind of exists, is exactly why you read instructions on your fucking maps, because this map is wet erase only. And that's what happens when you use a dry erase on a wet erase only. There is a solution that I can do. And it involves hand laminating this. Because I don't have any wet erase. I might actually have to go to the store to get wet erase. I mean, you say that till you get electrocuted, my friend. You say that till you get electrocuted. You won't be working on any electronics projects, but you'll get electrocuted by something. Not yet, and that would be going towards a computer anyway. Mine's actually coming in the mail because there was an issue with my taxes, so the IRS doesn't know what my current bank account is. I have found it! I have been missing my fucking alt key for like 4 days now. Broken. Damn it. Oh, I can see where it's broken too. Damn. Well, I don't fucking know. I actually, I didn't even see it go missing. I just came back and found my keyboard was missing an old key. Time to try something. Fun fact. Sharpie is actually easier to erase than wet erase marker. Or than dry erase marker, rather. At least on some surfaces. But not this one. Actually, that's way more permanent. That's actually rare. I know Sharpie is a permanent marker, but it is actually rare for Sharpie to be more permanent on something than, like a poorly used dry erase marker. And that's me. This is why we do testing. And also why you buy cheap when it comes to your first couple of maps. So you know what you can and cannot use. No. Fuck that. I ain't walking to fucking Walgreens, that's like half a mile. I'll buy it before next Saturday. Game is until Saturday. I just wanted to test Sharpies to see if they would work. They didn't. God damn it, I'm zoning out again. Fuck. Okay, so the way I'm probably gonna run the map, this map, is that I'm going to have a certain number of tiles marked without expressly saying it. Next is making a map of creature locations and figuring out how I want the random encounters to be rolled. I'm gonna say 5. So you can vaguely enough see that this is a hex map. These 5 hexes, are going to be the path of the turtle. These are going to be considered open. No random encounters will be rolled along this line. Okay. So now I need to know how many hexes from here to here, so I can figure out how I want to weight the encounters. Because how much of it do I want to be in the marshlands, and how much of it do I want to be in the overgrowth? So, like, have the turtle go down the middle and then one side be, like, ground layer and the other one be treetops? That could work, but I was actually going to use the difference between the bottom layer and the treetops as a difficulty spike. Because then I could, have most of the bosses in the treetop layer. Because then they're working their way towards the bosses, which will be over here. No. The squares are for combat. Hexes are for map movement. Squares are for combat. That's just how I always run campaigns, because hexes do better for map movement, because they give you more options as to how you can move, and also are better for random tables for movement. whereas the combat is meant to be done in squares. Otherwise, that would be a really fucking good idea. But, just movement mechanics in D&D tends to favor hexes for map movement and squares for... So this song originally has vocals over it. It's one of the songs that I sing most often, and it's bugging me to all hell and high water that I'm not hearing the vocals, because I fucking love this song with vocals. It's called Vagrant Song by Darren Korb, if you want to go look it up. It's almost like a sea shanty, but not. It's a folk song, like an old folk song set in their world, and it's really fucking good. Supergiant is really fucking good at making video games. Where's the letter? I'm actually gonna shorten my chair for this because I'm way out of camera. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 23. 22 is 11. So one movement is one random encounter. 11 is not bad. How much is 11? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That line right there, right down the middle. Cherry, or the strawberry, rather. I believe I stated to you my thesis on the strawberry lip balm. Well, so here's the issue. I have 2 sticks of lip balm. I personally know which one of these is cherry and which one of these is strawberry. But that's because I've tested the cherry recently and just found the strawberry again. Fuck. That was cherry. There's a mint one around here somewhere, but I haven't taken the label off because I cannot stand mint, and I don't even want to chance the lip balm roulette with the mint. Okay, so now we gotta do some math and figure out how often we want them to move forward. So what's going to be the DC on the survival check, basically? These are wonderful sounding coins, by the way. They're actually arcade tokens from an arcade near me, but I stole them from a friend's sister because friend politics. How well / poorly do you stick to? Okay, I gotta stand up and go into the drawer of many wonders. It does not appear that I have scotch tape, but there is a lot of D4s in the bottom of that drawer. I'll be right back with some scotch tape. I am back and with a solution to a degree. So, fun fact, you may not know this, but you can pretty easily make a dry erase board at home with clear packing tape. The lower adhesive, the better, because lower adhesive means you can actually remove it if you need to. I didn't think we had clear packing tape, but we have clear packing tape, apparently. Which is pretty much just white scotch tape. And we got the bad brand, because, fun fact, Duck brand tape is garbage. Duct tape is not duct tape. They are two different things. Anyone still there? Or have I been abandoned again? For one. No, okay. Oh, okay. The frequency in which I'm abandoned by my friends is so high that I just expect it at this point. You call them friends, I call them bastards. So because I don't have enough to actually fully laminate this piece, I'm just going to do the bit at the bottom and use it to denote things. Basically distance. The issue is my table is not in fact flat, because it is not in fact one table. Go do your motherfucking dishes, Natsu. You're just as bad as Fred. Dishes, but whatever you do, don't. And look, dude, I'm the last person you want to try and complain about dishwashing to. Not actually the last person, but because I managed to actually spend most of my time in the kitchen actually cooking, which is a rarity. Dry erase hose, mark. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, he was actually told to go rinse the dishes yesterday and didn't because he was playing a game. That was what I was making fun of him for. As you can see, I'm making little marks of this is the safe zone. Oh, you can't quite see that. So this one's labeled low odor, and it smells to all hell in high water. This one, on the other hand, is also low odor and smells like nothing. What the fuck does low odor even mean for these people? Somehow my handwriting looks like a mix of Elven cursive and fucking garbage. Honestly, if I had a full roll of this, I would probably just laminate this entire fucking map. But I didn't. It's not mine. I'm borrowing it from parents. So I'm just doing the little strip at the bottom. Time to go give it back. Danger zones. Highway to the danger zone. Also, my favorite fucking song from Pyre. But also, it's a bit loud. And I know everyone fucking hates harpsichords, apparently. Harpsichord? The instrument you're hearing right now. It's the precursor to a piano. Precursor? Basic gist is the strings are tuned very high, but also, like, very specific kind of high-pitched strings. Similar to a harp, but struck instead of plucked. And obviously done by a machine, because it's a... Alright. Okay. A lot of people don't like harpsichords because they're just very high-pitched. Times it 2? Okay. Gotta keep this going for another 4 hours before my actual stream. Because I'm tired as fuck, so I need someone to keep me awake. Okay. I'm currently drawing up, oh God, this is gonna sound nerdy as fuck, but I'm drawing up basic statistic tables in my head of what I want to be more likely to be rolled for each area. So for the marsh, which is the low danger area, okay? I want it to be mostly environmental with a bit of encounters and almost no chance of them finding any clues in there, because for this map specifically, all of the beasts are in the danger area. I'm probably actually going to use this layout of safe, low danger, high danger for all of the rest of this campaign, because of the way the campaign is running. Yeah, it sounds like a good DM, but also nerding out over statistics, because I'm an econ type person. Who the fuck is DMing me? Not even someone who I expected to DM me, either. I am so happy with this mic. Your father has done me well with the recommendation for this mic, by the way. Because Nice. Wait a second. I have some indignation to go do. 1 second. All right, Indy. Who knows whose tech stuff? Oh, yeah, your dad?
Yes, he does.
And I especially expected him to know his mics. For obvious reasons when it comes to Paul. Because Paul is cool. As fuck. Like, honestly and legitimately, one of the things that has made me happiest this year has just kind of been meeting Paul. Because Paul has been both a source of wonderful stories and also some of the best advice I've gotten. I'm sure you get sick of his stories. Another wonderful song that normally has vocals, but it is not currently being vocalized. Okay. No, most of the stories he's told are about him. Fair, very fair. Okay. So I've done the basic overview of 75, 20, 20, and 5, and then 50, 25, 25. Now I need to do the actual overview of how I want to roll it. What's the minimum to get a 5% chance? A D20. Okay. First roll is going to be a D20. Which new angle? Fub. Also, hello, Fub. Yeah, I kind of fudged it a bit so that it was a bit better in view. I also fudged this so it was a bit better in view of my face. I did some general quality of life stuff pre-stream. Hence the music that is actually a full playlist, the camera that is most of the time when I don't fuck with it pointed at my face, the not absolute void above me and instead actually having my logo. It's Darren Korb, he loves his strings. And a better angle for the table cam. So right now what we're working on is a... Oh, fuck, I've bumped up to 4 viewers. Okay. What we're working on is a random table for the first of 2 areas. So down here I have... this is overworld travel, basically. And there's a line of safe zone here, in which the players will not encounter anything. Then a line of, like, low danger area here. Yes, that's quality of life, Mom. Low danger here. And then high danger here. Okay? Basically, further out you get from this being where the turtle is walking. If anyone doesn't know, my campaign, the city on my campaign is set on the back of a giant turtle that is walking along a path. The further out you get from the turtle, more dangerous shit gets. Right now I'm making the random table for this area, which will be more light and encounters and environmental hazards. Doito? I mean, normally in my campaigns, 1 hex is 10 miles. So, the fact that the turtle is 5 hexes wide... It's not a small city. It's not a big city either, but... Who the fuck is... Big damn turtle, yeah. Normally you can't. On the back of the turtle is a forest, with the roots actually being rooted within the shell, creating for a foundation big enough that they can build upwards, basically. But only because they are building off of the forest instead of off of whatever they would build. I might be getting a player who couldn't make it to the session 0 who I need to character up. Ah! Yo, hop in my Discord. And once we're done making your character, you probably don't want to be here because I'm doing the random tables for the creatures you will fight. Though I will appreciate the view bot. Ah, there you are. Hello.
Yeah, I figured that I shouldn't be watching, so I wasn't really watching. But I heard you talking. I sent you the message, and then I heard I heard you talking about you might get a new player, and it's just that might be me.
Yes. And then Natsu in chat. Hello, other me. Which Natsu is the other one who sounds like you.
Yes, so I have heard.
Um, Fub, yes, to a degree, if they're meant to be like physically structured, if they are closer to things like rope bridges and tree houses, then the swaying will be less of an issue. Um, and I know you had heard that he sounded like you. I was clarifying that he was in fact that same person, not.
Oh yeah,
Okay, so character-wise, you can be whatever the fuck you want. Min-max your ass to shit, because I'm going to beat it in.
good.
You have 2 sorcerers, a barbarian, and a ranger rogue right now.
Although one of the sorcerers looks like he's specking more towards decking people in the face.
Yes.
So
I, again, if you're building actual tall buildings, they can build buildings up high, but they will be individual like chunks of building in trees. And that's how more of how it works is that there's individual buildings in trees to a bridge lower, not. We already have a fucking barbarian, Mom. Sorry, my mother is also a D&D player and always wants a barbarian in the group.
we do already have a barbarian.
Yes, we have a barbarian and we have a monk. We have the fucking muscle. You can be any class you want. You also get a quarter of a mil to spend on magic items. In any way you want. I will I actually will need to pull up the Xanathar's cost of magic items table to roll for you, but
Because I know one of the things I was thinking, I already have a character that I'm using, but it's only level 3, and it's multi-classing, so I want it to be higher. But it's a warlock rogue that specializes in it's a divine soul warlock assassin rogue with shadow blade and darkness. So it's just, you can't see me. I insta kill you.
okay. Just a warning: the
But
stats on the creatures will not be based on health. It's more of a resistance style fight.
okay.
Go ask the other players later what they have found info-wise on the monsters, because they have, like, one of the things for Session 0 was they got some information on the monsters they would be fighting. But the enemies you're fighting will have a fuck ton of resistances, but lower health, basically. Because it's less meant to be a fight and more meant to be a puzzle. The regular enemies you fight, mind you, will have the regular stats of the enemies. The boss monsters are statted up like resistance tanks.
Okay.
So, you can still go that, and I actually have a rule for blade oils, so that you can change elemental damages on your weapons.
That's interesting.
It's Witcher inspired.
I haven't. Okay, not completely true. I have played Witcher, but I've played like 2 hours of it, and it was Witcher 1, and
oh my poor child,
it was
go
obnoxious.
play 3. I've played 1, 2, and 3. 3 is the only game you need to play, and the rest are kind of unnecessary.
I had a quest to go kill some things. I don't even remember what they were. They were like little swamp creatures, but there was like 6
Drowners,
of them.
probably.
Probably. Yeah, I couldn't kill them because there was like 6 of them, and there was no real way. Like the combat system just did not feel like it was made to fight multiple people.
That the combat system in 1 is not. The combat system in 3 is still not. But they're better about not giving you as many enemies. they will just give you bigger, more resistant, tankier enemies.
Because this was like the second quest, and it's just go kill these 6 things. They're running at you all at once. Good luck.
Yep.
It's just, oh, I'm in trouble.
It doesn't do good if you can't one-shot them, which you should be able to if you make the right brews and stat your shit up, but Witcher 1 was not a fucking good game. Witcher 3 is an amazing game. I highly recommend it to anyone. I have not finished it myself. I've barely played it because I can't stand it. This is the issue, is I love the game, I love its story, I love its mechanics, I can't play it. Anyway, I'm getting off track. Has Discord cut out? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. You, again, have that bad habit of going silent.
Sorry. I have another conversation going on, too, so
How dare
I was
you?
dealing with that.
You're all good, man. You're all good. So you're thinking rogue. Okay. Assassinate.
I'm still, open, but
that fair.
was my initial idea without looking at any of the other characters or anything.
Alright. We have a distinct lack of frontline melee.
Well, we have the barbarian druid, who I assume would be in the front. And then we have the one sorcerer monk who mostly sorcerer,
yes,
but he's spec'd out to be in the front. Which
he's a meme character.
It seems odd, so I don't know.
And
Everyone
agree,
else,
Fub.
yeah.
It is a lot to keep track of in The Witcher. I told everyone to min-max, and 2 of them don't know how to. One of them came back with a meme character, and the third one came up with his shit on the fly.
I got until Saturday night to get something figured out then.
Yep. Another rule. You can keep the same character, you can respec, but you cannot change your classes. You can change how many levels you have in each class, mind you. You just cannot
so you can kind of play around with the character and see which levels work best. Okay, that's...
Yep, because it's meant to be, after every session, your character is spending months preparing for the next hunt. Because you are a big game hunter on a traveling city. The time it takes the city to get to the next area, which is full of hunts, is the time which your character is preparing for the next hunt. So your character has full leniency as to, trying to fudge it so that it is a viable character.
But yeah, just about all of the ideas that I had before looking at everyone else was some variant of ranger, assassin, rogue style thing.
Okay. I'd actually just ask you to teach Florence how to make a character like that and then go something else.
Okay.
Because Florence is also doing ranger assassin. Specifically...
Yeah, I saw that, which is why that was my initial thought.
Yep. The other thing we're missing, by the way, is healing.
Because I actually have like 3 different characters of that style statted out. 2 of them were NPCs I used in a game that I ran for not very long a while back. And then the other one is a character that I'm using.
Fair enough, fair enough. And yes, Fub, that is a D&D 5e walk, or 5 D&D players walk into a bar joke, apparently. I could see that totally.
But yeah, I saw that there's a lack of healing, so I might roll up a cleric. I haven't actually played cleric before, though, so that'll be...
I'd suggest paladin as well might be nice.
Either could work. Paladin would have a lot more upfront damage.
Yeah, paladin would have a lot more upfront damage and also tank utility, but you could go both, mind you.
Could.
Specifically something like a war cleric with paladin levels.
And for stats, are we using your modified plus 6 point buy rule?
Oh no.
Or is it different? Something different?
I mean, I use Matt Mercer's rolling rules.
I don't know his rolling rules.
His rolling rules are you roll dice. If you get below the regular point buy threshold, you get one reroll. Full reroll, mind you. Because
Okay. So
having
if your total stats are below what you would get with normal point buy, you could re-roll everything.
yes,
Okay.
not that it really mattered because all of our fucking players rolled high apparently.
I saw that.
Like I didn't even need to explain it to them because by the time I was about to explain it to them, they'd already rolled and all of them were fine. Just another warning as well. We are using variant crippling rules, so you can lose a leg. It will only last for the one session, mind you.
Okay.
But it will cripple you for that session.
It's interesting.
Because again...
But yeah, I looked at the monk and saw 27 strength, 20 dex, and it's just, wait, what happened here? Magic item for the strength, but it's just like...
He got lucky on a roll
These
for
are
the
some
price
stats.
for giant strength. Because I do roll your prices for magic items.
Because I know a lot of them have a price range based on the rarity, but very few of them have set prices.
Yep, no, I roll you within the price range.
It's another thing I'd have to look into. Magic items, I don't actually use them a whole lot. Most of the ones I get are homebrewed.
If you make the character in the thing in D&D Beyond, you can just search through magic items on that.
Yeah. I usually use... Well, since you have content sharing on, I will be using D&D Beyond, but I usually use the website to look stuff up anyways. D&D Beyond does not want to cooperate right now.
Xanthars. Honestly, I'm not as hyped about Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft as I am about a lot of these. I was massively hyped about...
I haven't heard anything about it.
It's just a Ravenloft setting book in disguise of a core book.
No, Tosh's Cauldron of everything was...
Still haven't really fully looked through it.
A lot of the stuff they've introduced looks very interesting.
It does.
Although I have a friend who is... He doesn't like... It's like anything in the book. Like, he doesn't like the spells, he doesn't like the alternate class features, he doesn't like the alternative race features. He doesn't like any of it, and it's just... What?
Okay, I'm ready to roll whatever magic items you need.
Well, I don't know what magic items I need yet because I am still looking at classes.
Fair.
I could just go straight paladin, they're strong enough, or just go straight cleric. Clerics, at least I've heard, are pretty strong. I haven't used one.
You could go a Pallock.
I could.
One of the most broken fucking...
Before.
You haven't gone Pallock before?
I have not.
How the fuck have you not gone Pallock before? I had figured everyone had gone Hexblade Pallock at some point.
Most of the games I'm in haven't gone long enough to justify multiclassing.
Fair enough.
And even the ones that did, it was like my first or second campaign, so I wasn't looking to multiclass. I try not to multiclass using classes that I haven't used the base class on its own before. But fair. I've used warlocks, I've used paladins, so something I would look into. I just haven't had a chance to use it yet.
Honestly, what Warlock is best at is the
Multiclassing, yeah.
yeah, is being taken as a multi-class.
Yeah,
I know.
That's what I'm doing with my current character. It's going to be primarily rogue, but I'm taking warlock stuff so I get shadow and a little bit of extra healing from divine soul. And
If you want shadow, go sorcerer, not warlock.
not shadow, darkness spell, shadow blade darkness spell,
Okay.
and being able to see through magical darkness, which is kind of important. if you're using
Be
that
an
spell.
omni class.
No, that's fish. This same game where I'm using this character, I think he's a 4-way multi-class. He has like 1 level in each of those classes right now. I don't remember which classes they are.
Yeah, honestly, if you want to go for a rogue with shadow theming, go for fucking shadow sorcerer to get, and I kid you not, 120 feet movement as long as there is any sort of shadow on a bonus action.
Which is very nice.
Yes. Very nice. One of the things that I actually made was Sorlock with a emphasis on ranged combat, because the amount of times I go Pact of the Blade is like 3 times the amount of times I go any other pact, and I play a lot of Warlock. But the invocation
Pact of the Blade, more often than not, is just so good.
Yeah, Pact of the Blade is kind of the only viable Warlock pact.
I did run a Tome Lock. The amount of times those extra cantrips came in handy was a bit ridiculous. Especially, our whole party had dark vision, and it was a low magic setting, so no one had any magical light sources. So even just control flames from a distance to snuff out torches, we won fights off of that alone.
Very fair. Yeah, Tome is decent. I love Chain. I would never recommend Chain for anyone who wanted to min-max anything ever.
Yeah.
You want to go story?
It's more
Chain is
fun than
cool.
effective.
I love Chain because, you fucking kidding me? Having a pseudo dragon or an imp or whatever the fuck you want to have as like a familiar that is super functional, nice, cool, neat. I wish it had better stats, and I wish it was more useful. That depends on the DM, because the DM lets you use the actual things like, I don't know, invisibility on your fucking imp. Because the amount of DMs will just invalidate that. Yeah, if I was going to push you towards anything, I'd push you towards Palak, because they hit like a motherfucking truck.
Yeah. Only downside is they blow their entire load in like 2 rounds. And if the thing's still alive, they're in trouble.
Yeah, but they get their spells back on a short rest.
Yeah.
Understand, you can shove your Warlock spells into your Paladin Smite.
Yes.
Twice. Every short rest.
Yes.
That's why Palak is so good, because normally Paladins don't get that many spells.
Or just dump both your Warlock slots for a Eldritch Smite and Paladin Smite. And just rock whoever you're about to whack.
And there will be the muscle, yes. And also a healer.
Less healing and more of a...
Get your ass up.
You're unconscious. Get back up. Get back in this fight. We're not done with you yet.
To be fair, the amount of healing potions in your current party could probably fund an entire pharmaceutical company.
I have noticed several of those, yes.
I
didn't go super in depth on all of the characters, but I did notice a lot of potions.
I gave everyone $250,000 and told them, pick out whatever the fuck you want. Any money left over is still money you have. because you guys are going to get money based on each hunt. There is up to 5 tiers of difficulty, each tier giving another $100,000 or 100,000 gold. There's a tier 1, a tier 2, and a tier 3 on this current map, which, you know, ignore the rest of the things going on the table. But this current map has a vampire lord. See you guys back whenever you guys get back. There's a vampire lord as a 1-star, a death tyrant is a 2-star, and a Draco Lich is a 3-star. And I gave qualifiers of 1-star is 13 CR, 2 stars is 15, 18.
Yeah, Draco Lich is no joke.
Yeah. 20 CR.
I haven't even fought one of those, and I know how awful they are.
And then 25 CR for 5-star creatures.
We have to be min-maxed. Holy cow.
Yes. That's the point. I want to murder you. There's only a 3-star on this map.
Alright.
As you guys flesh out your characters and get, you know, better gear and figure out what your actual strategies are, I can throw stronger and stronger bosses at you. The point of each boss is that your players should not be able to beat it, but will anyway. Or won't, and you have to run away.
Or die trying.
Yeah, or die trying. But if you die, you lose the money. Because I want to play this off as like a, basically a risk-reward. You guys get upgrades through money. I might, in fact, make a pay-to-level system. That was the thing that I was thinking of. It's not currently in place yet, so don't assume that it will be, but...
That's interesting.
I want money to be the entire reason your characters are doing this. And the only way you can get money is by finishing contracts for giant, murderous beasts who will kill you if you are not careful and plan accordingly. All the while, by the way, in order to get to those beasts, you still also have to deal with a land that is hostile and will kill you.
Yeah.
With the caveat of, you can also... I will have the monsters acting as beasts with actual semi-intelligence. They will have things like patterns and enemies and things that can lure them away and things they're weak to. So, you aren't meant to, I have enough spells, I'm going to damage this until it's dead. If you manage to do that to my creatures, I will give them more health until you guys are just barely alive. It is meant to be, I have tricked this dumb beast into going somewhere that makes it easier for me to kill it. And thus, I have exploited its either patterns or its weaknesses or, you know...
So more of a Monster Hunter approach than a standard D&D approach.
Yeah, it's... The way I pitched it is it's a mix of Monster Hunters figure out where the monster is and get it to go somewhere, and Witchers prepare your equipment and understand your enemy. Instead of, hey, this thing has 10,000 health, deal 10,000 damage. Yeah. Before it deals your health of damage. Because I don't like that approach for boss monsters. I love that approach for fucking fodder. That approach is great for fodder. Because
oh, yeah.
If your character isn't strong enough, you will just trounce the fodder. But for boss monsters... For boss monsters, it's it needs to be complex enough that it sticks in your goddamn mind. Like, you remember a dragon for the dragon descriptions, but if you face a adult dragon at the time which you're supposed to face an adult dragon, it's not a fun fight. It's a thing with a fuck ton of health and a resistance to one element that deals a fuck ton of damage, and that's it. Which, with the ability to fly, if your DM is kind of smart about how they play it. But the actual stats of a dragon are not conducive to, like, complex planning for a combat. The shit you do to plan for a dragon is, I'm going to do a fuck ton of damage that isn't their specific element. That's it. If you're fighting any dragon other than red, you're coming at it with a firestorm.
Yeah.
I
might as well go Polylock because I haven't done one of those yet, and they're fun, so...
Yeah. Do vary up your smites, and do go ask about the stats of the monsters that I've already given to the party.
Alright. And these stats, these are the monsters that we could potentially be fighting next week?
Yes, you have picked up 3 contracts. One for
So we will be
Vampire Lord.
going after all of them at some point.
No. You have the option to go off after any of them.
Oh, okay.
These are 3 monsters who are on the field. They exist in the world whether you choose to go for them or not, I would like to clarify.
Okay.
But also, you have the opportunity to get paid for these 3 monsters. The rest of the monsters you fight will not have contracts for them, and thus there won't be pay for them.
Okay.
I will probably also be throwing in fights that you can't win that are specifically necessary to run away from. But I'm not sure yet, because I haven't made the actual encounters yet, because that was what I was working on before you came in.
Well then, sounds like I've gotten most of what I needed to know, so I will dip out, go talk to the other players, and I'll get back to you when I figure out magic items.
Okay. If you have Xanthars, just roll on the table. I trust you not to fuck me over.
Okay. I think I have Xanthars.
Okay.
See ya.
See ya. Okay. We are back to doing encounters. All I got left in this chat. Because I know Fub and Natsu were both leaving. But I have 5 viewers, so someone's got to be here. Sorry, I gotta go check on something on my phone. We are done fiddling around on the phone. Okay. So I have a numbered thing 1 through 20. I don't. You can kind of see that. These I want to be 1 through 5 are the bad egg. These are things that are intentionally meant to, like, scare the players or things that could kill the players. For the low difficulty area, it's going to be things like high CR encounters, but not like impossible encounters. So in the low difficulty area, the CR range for a bad encounter is 10 to 13. Then from 5 to 15 is neutral. In which the CR should be 8 to 10. The players should be able to deal with it fairly easily, but it should still give them some... It should still be a road bump, not a fucking skid mark. And then 15 through 20, or 16 through 20 rather, is lucky. Lucky should be 0, 0 being actively beneficial, not just neutral, through 8. With a natural 20 giving them a clue towards whatever beast they want. Or rather, whatever beast I roll. Fuck, I'm running out of Blue Stallion. But it is so much smoother than coffee right now. So let's go back to our list of things. I can tear that out. Also this. Fuck, when I get back from basic, I'm buying myself a goddamn whiteboard. Okay. So let's take notes on what type of enemies I want the marsh to have. Probably mostly corporeal undead. So things like skeletons, zombies, wights, revenants. I would also probably want most of the... Actually, corporeal undead probably is enough, because I'd probably want the, You can go back up. Oh, shit, fucking... Shit, tits ass, motherfucker. I wonder if there's a way I can rotate that 90 degrees. But it's significantly less square than I thought it was. God, looking at the translation between where the camera is and where I am is weird to me. Okay. So in the bad category, I probably want... Actually, I could do it... Okay. So I'm going to have the bottom two rolls be low and high encounters. Actually, I did it wrong in the notebook, but I don't think you can tell that. Yeah, you definitely can't tell that from there. So I'm going to then make an encounter table for each of these. So I can make a number of low-level encounters and a number of high-level encounters and chain fucking encounter trees. So the likelihood of them getting any specific encounter is going to be very low, but the likelihood of them getting an encounter is significantly higher. Because exponential growth, which means the other three are environmental hazards. On our list of environmental hazards, the three worst ones are poison gas, fungus encounters, and a blood oak. Pretty much all of these should set them back. I will have to stat up a blood oak. Poison gas there's rules for, and the fungus is actually a monster, technically, but I'm not going to use it as a monster. Because they're stationary, they can't move. So low, medium, and high encounters. Again, I have them backwards. But, huh. Tired. But for 6, 7, and 8, it's the high, medium, and low encounters for the neutral. So 8, 9, and 10. Which anyone who's played D&D knows that that's not that big of a range. Most players who struggle with a CR10 encounter will probably struggle with CR9. That leaves 9 through 15 as environmental hazards. I'm just gonna put sticky traps on there right at 9. Mosquito swarm's probably a decent idea. Which will probably function just as a con check for a DOT. What else do I have? The ones all on there are left for the high damage. I want to at least get the low danger one done. And I'm probably gonna go take a nap before my stream. Or my next stream, obviously. Oh. So, right smack dab in the middle, I have now Dense Foliage, which is a +5 to the DC for their navigation check. Because as they're moving, each of these is meant to be a nav check. Which, by the way, I will probably be having empty gaps in the encounter rolls. So that basically the nothing happens will be not on this table, but rather on the under the enemies attack you ones. So that way, nothing happens and enemy attacks you are under the same slot. Because if they're not, then they're going to be attacked by enemies way too often. Until it blocks your path. I'm being very yawny right now. Foliage blocks your path. Okay, what are some other options that can happen in a swamp? I was gonna turn the music up because Cody is no longer on the same audio track as music. Surprised I'm keeping a consistent viewer count. I wonder how many people are view botting. Brother, I wonder how many people I know who are view botting. Yeah, shit. Tits ass, motherfucker. Pretty simple reward I can give for the good shit is path ahead is clear, +5 or -5 to the DC for the nav check. And the nav check for the low is only going to be 15, whereas for the high it's going to be 20. With if you get 5 above the DC, more than 5 above the DC, you go 2 tiles. What are some other things that I can do? Find a rare herb worth 10d10g. A little bit extra cash for sale, but not actually much to be a reward. It's enough to pay for maybe some healing potions. And then I could actually put that as equivalent to a healing potion. So they could have to make the choice between using it if they're running low on potions or selling it, which they're probably not going to run into that now because they have a fuck ton of potions and a healer. But, like, making decisions like this is the things I want to get good at so that I can make the game actually the way I want to play it, because I know it's going to be a shit show the first session. I'm going to try and implement all these rules and they're not going to land properly. I'm going to then figure out what fucking went wrong. If my creatures were too weak or too strong, if I gave them too much money or too little money, if I was too lax on their buying of potions or their buying of magic items, or if I was too stringent on it. We will find out. But so one reward is you find a shortcut, which allows them to move 2 tiles vertically or 1 tile horizontally. Basically meaning they skip a roll going forward or skip 2 rolls going up. Up being less valuable unless I'm fine giving more. Because the monsters are over here, but at the same time, not all monsters are right here. So, because they're starting here. The monsters can be anywhere in this area. So they will still need to go vertically. One option is blooming sleep flowers, which is effectively I'm just going to cast a certain level sleep spell on them. Probably just a 9th level sleep spell. See how many I can hit with it. That on its own is not really much, but it can kind of slow them down. Okay. Another one of the more neutral ones is a non-hostile Hags Hut. If a player wants to try and make a deal with a hag, they can. But mostly just flavor. I put a encounter roll on a 19. That one being mostly empty with some massively low-level creatures. Basically something to lift their spirits if they want to kick an ass for a bit. I have 2 slots to fill, both in the neutral category. Anyone in here got an idea? Came up with the idea of hanging vines. Both hanging as in they're dangling from a tree, but also hanging as in to hang someone. So they're dangling at about neck height and will wrap themselves around you and pull you up if you can't make it out. Effectively just a dex or damage, but it has a decent bit of flavor to it. Ooh. A dead or inert blood oak. There we go. Encounter rolls for the low difficulty is, or the low danger rather, exists. That dead blood oak is actually kind of vital, because blood oak sacks are gonna be a way for the players to interact with, to lure the vampire to where they want them to be. And for the blood oak, by the way, if any player is covered in blood oak sap, I will be rolling on an encounter table on top of rolling on this table. Which could potentially get them to have 2 encounters in one fight, but probably not. If they get unlucky, unlucky enough that they have to deal with 2 encounters in 1 fight. Sucks to be them. I think that's going to be it for me today, but tomorrow I will be coming back and doing, probably actual monster encounters. I'm going to go take a nap before my actual stream. It's over there. Night, everyone. Come by at about 6:30. I will be playing Pasture.